So, now we'll kind of discuss the opportunities and the consequences, the outcomes from the decision. So, the decision was very highly criticized because it violated an ethical guideline of sports journalism. The guideline that it violated was the one of self-interest. So, ESPN's corporate officers, they deliberately chose hype and brand development of themselves and of LeBron James over journalistic integrity. So, while ESPN made no direct money off of the decision, the $2.5 million profit from the event went to LeBron James' charity of choice, which is the Boys and Girls Club. But they profited from the pre and post show analysis and coverage of the event. And also, subsequent days following the decision, ESPN always had on its show talked about the ramifications of LeBron James and what happened next, and always was talking about LeBron James. So with the decision, it kind of built its brand. So LeBron James and his new team, the Miami Heat, made it to the 2011 NBA Finals. So that season following the decision. So in a rematch of the 2006 NBA Finals between the Miami Heat and the Dallas Mavericks, the sixth game and final game of both of these matchups, they both went 6 games in 2006 and 6 games in 2011. It showed a 35% increase in ratings from the matchup in 2006. So basically, the 2011 finals between the exact same teams had a 35% increase in ratings. So what explains that? Well, Dwyane Wade, he was on the 2006 Heat team and the 2011 team, the biggest star in the Miami Heat before LeBron James, and Dirk Nowitzki, he was the biggest star of the Dallas Mavericks. He was on the Mavericks for both the 2006 and 2011 season. So basically, the biggest difference between these two matchups was LeBron James. So, what changed from 2007 to 2011? So that was basically 2007 was his first year in the NBA Finals when it had an all-time low rating, to 2011 when the ratings increased from previous years. So, LeBron James' fame, it was put on a new level after the decision. He went from being a hometown hero, like many other sports players and many other people that can become popular, and sometimes the media and fans kind of become null to that. He became a supervillain. And with his villain status, he was talked about everywhere how bad of a person he was, but that drove media attention to him. So, with his villain status, the NBA final ratings improved from previous years. So, the next chapter. So, LeBron James and the Miami Heat returned to the finals from 2011 to 2012. We already discussed about the 2011 finals, but so here we'll talk about the 2012-2014 finals. So in 2012, the NBA Finals had its highest rating. A 9.7% of United States TV household watched a game, and that rating was highest since the 2004 NBA Finals. In 2014, the final game of the series had 18 million viewers. It dominated television for the whole week, and the next highest show in that week span was 11.5 million viewers. And the 2014 NBA Finals was up 5% over the previous year's series. So as you can tell, LeBron James and the NBA Finals popularity increased every year that he was in the finals. So, kind of making sense of it all, or a conclusion. So, as shown by the example that I've talked about thus far, media and marketing have a very synergistic relationship. So basically, they can benefit each other. And as a marketer, as ABC in the NBA Finals and LeBron James, working with media can really expand their horizons, and they both can grow. So to succeed in marketing and media, a company has to be able to adapt and change. LeBron James went from being seen and marketed as the hometown hero, the man and the boy to bring a championship to Cleveland and the state of Ohio, as a supervillain when he went to Miami. But this worked, and it grew his fame, it grew his wealth, it grew his brand. So ESPN, they also changed, but they did violate some ethical sports journalism guidelines. But in the end, they grew their brand and also helped to increase the NBA's finals ratings. So the 1 hour television event, The Decision, it was just 1 hour. It had influences on TV ratings for several years after it aired. So it will never be known if the Walt Disney Company or ABC pushed ESPN to get the rights to the decision to benefit their partner companies. But either way, it shows a point that with adaptability and change, one company as a media outlet, such as ESPN, can stand out in the saturated field of media outlets that there are. What do I mean by this? So today there are so many different media outlets. There's TV, there's the internet, there's newspaper, there's magazines, all sorts of things, and ESPN had to stand out away of all the saturation, and they did that by the decision. So ESPN used its media power and influence to shape the marketing of the NBA Finals. So I hope that I described kind of marketing and media and how they are able to change together or change in general and be adaptable to the situation. They can really profit from that. As I've shown, marketing, either it's from the NBA Finals or LeBron James or the NBA in general, and the media, ESPN really worked in this situation to grow everybody that was involved. ESPN grew its brand. The NBA Finals grew. Since the NBA Finals grew, ABC had higher television ratings when the NBA's final aired, and LeBron James grew his brand as well. So I thank you for listening to this presentation. If you have any questions, just let me know. Alright, thank you. And here are my references that I used. Okay, thank you again.